Yesterday, we looked at the fear of a lack of control in our lives. And another big fear that we often encounter is the fear over our past mistakes. It's sort of a haunting type of anxiety. It's interesting, the Greek word in the Bible, the biblical word for anxiety, is this word called merimnao, and it literally means to be divided into parts, to be ripped apart. And what's fascinating is what happens to us at a cognitive and psychological level as our thoughts are being ripped apart and divided is our body physically also gets ripped apart and divided. And this is the reason why when you get anxious, you get headaches, you get stomach problems like colitis and ulcers, you get this overwhelming stress to your immune system that absolutely destroys it. What's happening to you at a mental level is also then happening to you at a physical level. This is perhaps, at least from my experience, most often the case with the guilt in our lives that leads to anxiety. And here's how the gospel remedies that kind of anxiety from guilt. It's not just the forgiveness of Jesus and the love of Jesus and the mercy of Jesus. It's all those things, but it's also the justice of Jesus. We read in 2 Corinthians 5:21, God made him, this is Jesus, who had no sin, to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. What exactly does that mean? Picture yourself in the giant divine court of God, and Jesus is your defense lawyer. But he's not only your defense lawyer, he's also the one who's paying for all of your crimes. He's making the payment for all your mistakes and covering all of your guilt. And so now when Jesus defends you before God, he doesn't just appeal to God's love and mercy, he appeals to God's justice. He says, God, if you are a just God, you cannot punish James any longer. Why? Because I have already fully paid for James's mistakes. And if you're a just God, you cannot collect twice for the same crimes. See? You're appealing to the justice of God, and it's a beautiful, huge thing. What it means is you don't have to beat yourself up anymore over the past mistakes you've made. C.S. Lewis once put it like this. He said, I think that if God forgives us, we must forgive ourselves. Otherwise, it's almost like setting up ourselves as a higher tribunal than him. According to the Bible, the justice of God is fully served and met and satisfied at the cross of Jesus Christ. The justice of God alone will remedy all of your fears about your past mistakes.